This is a story about a place called Mouseland. Mouseland was a place where all the little mice lived and played, were born and died, and they lived much the same as you and I do. They even had a parliament, and every 5 years they had an election. They used to walk to the polls and cast their ballots. Some of them even got to ride to the polls and got a ride for the next 5 years afterwards too. They were just like you and me. And every time on election day, all the little mice used to go to the ballot box and they used to elect a government. A government made up of big, fat, white cats. Now, if you think it's strange that mice should elect a government of cats, you just look at the history of South Africa and maybe you'll see that they aren't the only ones who get confused about who to elect. Now, I'm not saying anything against the cats. They were nice fellows. They conducted their government with dignity. They passed good laws. That is, laws that were good for cats. But the laws that were good for cats weren't very good for mice. One of the laws said that mouse holes had to be big enough so a cat could get his paw in. Another law said that mice could only travel at certain speeds so that a cat could get his breakfast without too much effort. All the laws were good laws for cats. But oh, they were hard on the mice. And life was getting harder and harder. And when the mice couldn't put up with it anymore, they decided something had to be done about it. So they went en masse to the polls. They voted the white cats out. They voted in the black cats. Now, the fat black cats had put up a terrific campaign. They said all that Mouseland needs is more vision. They said the trouble with Mouseland is those round mouse holes we all use. If you vote us in, we'll establish square mouse holes. And they did. And the square mouse holes were twice as big as the round mouse holes. And now the cat could get both paws in, and life was tougher than ever. And when they couldn't take that anymore, they tried a government of half black cats and half white cats, and they called that a ruling alliance. You see, my friends, the trouble was not with the color of the cat. The trouble was that they were cats. And because they were cats, they naturally looked after cats instead of mice. Presently, there came along one little mouse who had an idea. My friends, watch out for that plump little fellow with an idea. And he said to the other mice, "Look, fellows, why do we keep electing a government made up of cats? Why don't we elect a government made up of mice?" "Oh," they said, "he's a communist. He hasn't paid his taxes. Lock him up." So they put him in jail. But I want to remind you, you can lock up a mouse, and you can lock up a man, but you can't lock up an idea.